What's up, guys? Ben here with True Carolina Outdoors. Welcome back to another episode. Today, we're going to be looking at my arsenal, my reels, rods. Some of them are not here in the video because they're being worked on right now. I've got them tore apart. Um, but we got some drum setups, shark setups, king setups. We got it all. Um, so, first off, we've got I don't have this on a rod right now because this is an early season king reel along with my Pin 12, but this is a Pin Mag Power 980. It is loaded up with 400 yards of 20-pound Suffolk Superior. Um, I've got a breakaway speed link on there so I can on off my rigs really easy on the fly. Pretty decent clicker. It's got a mag so you can cast it. I do cast this reel occasionally, but I did set this up for an early season reel, king fishing reel. Because really, until it's harping the jack shot, you don't need anything big. Um, but that is my light duty king reel. Then we'll look at my Pin 12H International. It is on a 1978 custom Fenwick heaver, old school. Old school. She works pretty good. Throws good. It's got a real soft, limber. Um, you know, it's got a good wobble to it. Not super stiff. But this Pin 12, now these they don't make these models anymore. This is a older model. Most of my reels, if you know me, you know most of my reels are prior to 2004. Mostly 90, 80s and 90s. One of these I do have is late 60s, early 70s. My Pin 6 shot that I have, which I don't have it out here right now, but that reel is from the 50s, and it's still I've caught over 50 fish on it alone in 24 hours. So I took it on a head boat, deep dropping, and I probably won't never do that again with a 6-aught. That was killer. And actually, I did it paired up on this rod here. Now this rod, I won this rod in a bet years ago. They don't make these rods here with the aluminum seat or the foul proofs anymore. But this is a Dogfish Tackle 15H, 30 to 80 class. And this rod here is a beast of a rod. I can pair this up with a number of different reels, but right now I don't have it on here, but because it's on my old school Fenwick fin glass. But I will pair this up with a 9-aught or a 50 size reel. Um, the LX Raptor, 4-aught size reels. They all work on this rod. But this is mainly a grouper snapper rod, but I'm gonna use it for shark fishing. It's got a good backbone. Um, you can still buy the Dogfish 15H's, but they come with graphite reel seats now, and but they come with the boat style guides, and they're blue in color now. Um, and those rods you can still put 40 pounds of drag on them easy. Because I have the aluminum seat, I can push this a little bit further, maybe up to 50 pounds of drag, which is still quite a lot of drag. But that's what this rod will be used for shark fishing, or if I decide to take it back on a boat. But it's not, it's light, but then again, it does become heavy over time. So doing long periods of stand-up fishing with this probably wouldn't be quite ideal. Um, but that is really one of my favorite rods. It's a beast. Um, Now another one of my king setups we got here. They don't make this rod anymore. This company is no longer in business. But this is a real deal rod, catfish rod that was made here in North Carolina, east in Elizabethtown. Guy is no longer making these. I think he just got tired of it. I'm not sure. But they're decent rods. I haven't caught a fish on it yet, but I have fought a fish on it, but not for very long, but it was a shark. But I have this paired up with a LX Raptor um, Classic. I've got this paired up with 50-pound braid backing and 30-pound mono top. Again with the Speed Link. Got a nice clicker. This one's a little bit louder than the older or original Abbott's because it's got the upgraded G2 style clicker. But this has 48 or 38 pounds of drag. And this rod here will handle every bit of 38 pounds of drag. I've had this rod locked down at 30 pounds of drag and it handled it. But this rod is a 10 to 50 class. It's a real light tip, so that's why I like using it for king fishing because it's got that soft tip that you need. But then also, you know, it can get some backbone, but it takes a little bit for that backbone to really kick in. Um, which a lot of the cat fishermen like. Personally, I mean, for catfishing and all, I would rather something a little bit heavier, just for the backbone, because you can't get no lifting power if the rod continuously bends and bends and bends. I mean, you're up here trying to lift fish that's not going anywhere, and you risk high sticking it. That's why I don't like it. Most of the catfish rods on the market. Um, let's see here. Next, we've got my TLD 20 Shimano. I've had this rod or this reel for let's see, probably 16 years, something like that, 15, 16 years, somewhere around there. It was given to me by a family friend. We call him Uncle Joe. He's no longer with us, but I still use this reel. I've caught some stingrays on it. I just gave it a cleaning, serviced it, and we've got it paired up with a Star Rod 15 to 30 Deluxe, full AFCO graphite rollers. And this is a real. I love this rod because you can literally take this tip on this rod and flex it over 90 degrees, and it's just I wouldn't put much weight on it, but it's got a really soft tip, which I love for kings. Um, and like I said, I've had this reel for years and years. I've trolled with it. I've bottom fished with it. I've caught fish out at the Gulf Stream with it. You know, and this has been my, you know, go-to reel for most everything, depending on what I'm doing. Um, and then, you know, like I said, that's just been in my collection for many years, and it's going to stay in my collection. Next, we're going to look at. Now, I will use this rod here for king fishing, but I have it set up for sheep's head or drum, whatever, right now. But it is a 15 to 25 pound Contender Ranger. I call this rod Butterscotch Dream. It's just my buddy Colin down there at from Jolly Roger Pier, Emer's Customs. If you want a rod built, look him up, Emer's Customs. He redid this rod, and it is beautiful. He cleaned up the thread work and stuff, reshaved the grips. I bought it off of him for $80, and they were going for like between 250 and 350 on eBay for the few that I've seen, and they didn't look quite as nice. But this has that really light tip, like I was talking about, and I'd pair it up with the Mag Power 980. But right now for Kings, but right now I have it paired up with this Penn Peerless #9, like I said, for sheep's head, and drum right there at the pier. Got a little 3/4 ounce weight on it with a Owner sniper hook, finesse hook. Those are pretty sharp. Um, but this has got a really loud, decent clicker on it. And I mean, these reels are these are one of my favorite reels. Just the size, and they're just the simplicity of them. They work, you know, and that's why I love my old pins is the simplicity of them. And people give me crap about me using old gear, but hey, you know what? If it wasn't for this gear, we wouldn't have what we have today. And that's what I say. You know, this stuff paved the way for what we have now. Which I'm not a big fan of the more modern gear. TLD is probably one of well, actually the LX is probably the newest in my collection. Honestly, actually it is. Everything else is old school. Um, next, well, and then we got the here. I don't know what exactly kind of rod this is. I haven't been able to find this one on it online. But this is my Penn International 30 with a big T-bar handle on it. I'm actually going to put a 4/0 handle on this reel. I actually have the handle on my 980 right now, but this one here was built in the late 60s, early 70s. And I got it paired up with a Boatmaster, 30 to 50 pound. It's got a stripper guide and the roller tip, and this one's got a pretty good beef to it. This reel here has 950 yards on it. I've got 40-pound braid underneath and 300 yards of 30-pound test monofilament on top. And that right there is all you'll need. I could catch wahoo with this. I can catch kings. I mean, even some of the smaller marlins can be caught on this. And I got this one for 50 bucks. Along with my 80 wide that is actually tore down right now because I have to get a couple parts for it. Or I may just try to fix it the way it is, and just get it in the water. The only main part that I'm missing is the clicker tongue, the switch to turn it on and off. But other than that, I mean, I can put a handle, new knob on it, and the brace to go underneath the rod and put it in the water, spool it up, put it in the water. I mean, I can turn the clicker on and off the way I've got it. I got it jerry rigged right now, but it works because the part doesn't exist now. They haven't made them in so long. So, but let's take a look at our drum setups. You know, we've got the Ugly Stik, 12 foot, 40 to 80, 4 to 10 ounce, paired with a Abu Garcia Ambassador 6500 chrome rocket. She is paired. I've got her spooled up with that breakaway line. The breakaway tackle 20 pound in orange. On the package it says red, but it's orange. And then the breakaway tapered shock leader. We're going to give that stuff a go this year. And then of course we got the breakaway thumb brake on there. And this rod here, I haven't thrown a lot of these reels because some of these I have just gotten or within the past year that I haven't been fishing. So I apologize for that, but hopefully I'll be able to get out there on the beach and maybe get some footage. It's hard for me to get on the pier and get footage when there's when it's chaos out there, and you know, trying to film by yourself without GoPros and stuff like that. It's really hard. But maybe eventually, if my channel starts picking up, we'll be able to do things like that. Next up is the Ugly Stik 10 foot, 40 to 80, the extra heavy 6 to 12 ounce. We've got this one paired up with a Penn Mag 10, same line, everything, breakaway clip as well. Yes, for those of you that know, I love my breakaway. Nick's good dude. Check him out, Breakaway Tackle USA. We got another breakaway thing over there. So, but yeah, these are this is the same size as that Peerless number 9, but this has a static mag in it and bearings and a faster gear ratio. This has a 4 to 1, whereas the Peerless number 9 has a 3 to 1. So that's why I have that one paired up just for the lower torque to be able to for sheep's head and stuff. Next up we have the Breakaway HDX, 13 foot, 20 to 30 pound, 4 to 8 ounce. We got it paired up with a Pin Mag 970. I did have the Abu on here, but for now I think I'm gonna run with the 970 on here because this is more of my heavy duty reel for chunking big lead, up to 8 ounce stuff like that. But yeah, this rod here, I love it. I love it. They're 270 new, um, and you can get them at Breakaway. A number of places sell them. There's a couple places up at Hatteras that sell them, up at OBX. But these rods here, I love throwing a 6 ounce on it. I put a 6 ounce 150 yards with it, and it's phenomenal. Phenomenal rod. Pretty lightweight too. And again, we've got that one paired up with the Suffolk Superior 20 pound. And then, well, of course, we got the big boy here. We've got, this is my 1050 SW International 2 speed, paired up on a Fenwick IGFA 80 7-foot Varmac reel seat AFCO rollers. She's just old school beauty. And this 50 watt here is putting 50 to 60 pounds of drag at full. I've got a 100-pound braid underneath with a 175-pound top shot, and we've got another big T-bar on this one as well. I don't know if I'll pair up my 80 watt on this rod or not, because it's pretty heavy. When I put the 80 watt on here, when I put the 80 on this rod here, it weighs 11 and a half pounds. So yeah, that's more of a harness chair style. But with this reel here, I don't think it's much of a problem because I can sit here and do this all day long. That 50 sounds beautiful. She was almost brand new when I got her, which I just got this last year. All of this stuff I've gotten within the last year mostly. Year and a half or so, except for the TLD, like I said, and the Peerless number 9, and the and a few of the rods. But for the most part, most of all these reels here, I've just gotten here recently. But I do love my old school gear. As you can see, we're rocking the old school 1978 or 79 Marmite cooler. I use that for drinks and stuff out at the beach. It works pretty good. I mean, considering I only paid $5 for it years ago, and now they go for about $100. So, I mean, can't argue with it, and it still does me justice. I still, and it kind of just throws together the theme with my old school, like my old Fenwick there, the Contender Ranger. I don't know what year that was around, that rod, but the Fin Glass, it's a 1980s era. So yeah, I mean, as you can't tell, I really like my old school stuff. To me, it works a lot better than the newer stuff. The newer stuff, you just never know what you're getting. Some of it could be pressed metal, pot metal. You just never know. Um, like they come up with these fancy new technology terms and this and that that nobody understands, and it sounds cool, but I feel like that a lot of places use it as a sales tactic. Um, but I could be wrong though. Uh, but um, but that's all I've got for now. Like I said, some of these. Oh, and I did get some new rod holders in. Um, my buddy Nate just made those for me. Um, he's going to be doing these for 75 a piece ship. If you're looking for rod holders, you can reach me on my Facebook page at True Carolina Outdoors, and I can get you in touch with him if you want a couple rod holders made. He's starting to do some others. Now these here, These have the foot plate on them, and really, these were these were an original design for spinning rods. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take and add some more holes to adjust it down a little bit lower, so the grip can sit where the grip can sit just about here, where at least you can get your hand underneath the reel, so it's not just sitting right there on the blank. I mean, and as well as on the HTX, I feel like it sits way too high. So I figured just, driving it down just a little bit. And these rod holders just make it so you can just grab your rod in, out, and you're fighting the fish. They're pretty quick, easy access. You're not hanging up your rod or trying to, find it all the way out of tube or, something like that. It's just you just lift up, and it's very little effort. That's why I went with this style. These are 60 inches. Like I said, he does have the foot plate. He can put these with a eyelet bolt or some regular bolt. I went with the eyelet bolt so you can attach your fish, your hand rags. You can attach them with a carabiner straight to that, and you're good to go. But if we drop them down much anymore, I don't know how that's going to affect the rags. I'm still playing around with them, helping him design them. So give us some time on that. We're still playing around with it. But we live a couple hours apart, but I still try to help him out. I just got these in a few days ago. So but yeah, that's so far that's my arsenal right now. I don't have my lures and stuff like that. I use the same thing, like gotcha plugs and stuff like that. The little silver spoons and stuff, typical stuff. Um, Nothing wild. I am looking at getting a few poppers and stuff, so we can start doing some surf fishing and stuff. And maybe once I do some surf fishing, I can actually get some content. It'll be easier for me to do it out there on the beach than it would be out on the pier. Just around here, nobody really does any filming up here, so I kind of feel like the oddball out because nobody's out there filming. Nobody, we don't really have a whole lot of North Carolina um, fishing YouTube channels, or we do, but they're all scattered out, and they're just, not a whole lot from the piers up here. But that's all I got for y'all today. If you haven't, hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Turn that bell on so you'll get the notifications. If you don't get the notifications, I apologize ahead of time. But YouTube, we know how things can go over here. Just keep checking back with our channel every so often, because I mean, like I said, my schedule is posting is kind of crazy. I'm trying to get out the Hatteras the first weekend of May. I thought we were going to be able to go next month, but that hasn't that's probably out of the books right now. So it probably won't be till the first weekend of May before I can get up there to maybe get on some drum. And maybe I can get a little bit of footage, maybe. We'll see. But yeah, thank you for sticking around. Like I said, if you haven't, like and subscribe. Turn that bell on if you haven't. Stay tuned, and tight lines, tails up. We'll see you guys on the next one.